I think I will just discuss my next project, and I'm going to put some links in the show notes. What I was talking about on the Matrix earlier today. So I found this self-hosted app called Storyteller. It's in the show notes. So what Storyteller does is if you read books and listen to books, kind of like how I was describing last time about voice aloud on the Android app that has TTS options so you can hear your books too. Storyteller takes an audiobook as input and an ebook as input, and then it does it uses machine learning to sync the audiobook to the ebook so that when you're reading the book, you can, wherever you left off on one device, you can pick up on another device and listen to that book if you'd rather listen to it instead of read it. And so it syncs the audio with the ebook. So whatever you do, listen or read, it'll sync them up, and you'll always be where you left off. And it's pretty cool the way it does it. But what it doesn't do, what I was hoping it would do, was create a high quality audiobook from the ebook, because I'm using the voice aloud, which with their built-in voices and the Samsung voice, and it's okay, but it's not like if you had an actual human narrator reading a book to create an audiobook, like we talked about before, how it gets a lot of words wrong out of context, like live and live and read and read and stuff like that, lead and led. But this one supposedly has a pretty high quality. It can either use an offsite machine learning engine, or it can use one that's ran by your GPU or your or CPU, like Piper, or it can use like the Microsoft Azure API or OpenAI API to make that to sync those two things up. But what I wanted to find was something that was what do you call it? That would create the ebook with a high quality voice, or create the audiobook with a high quality voice from the ebook text. And I found something. Got it in my wallet bag.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because you were talking about using your GPU for that.
Yeah, so I think this is what I'm going to do with my my little gaming computer that I never use, since I don't really have time to play games, or I just don't play games anymore. Oh, goodness. Huh.
When you were talking about the reading thing, do you mean read aloud?
It's called Voice Aloud.
Voice aloud. Okay.
That's the name of the app. Yeah, Voice Aloud on the Android store.
Okay, because I use one called Read Aloud, which is does kind of the same thing.
It might be the same concept. Yeah.
I use a couple of different ones.
I have to try that, because I used to use the Android assistant to do that, because you could you whatever web page you had up, or whatever. I don't know if it worked for ebooks, but for web pages at least, if you loaded it and said read this, it would read the page. Gemini assistant doesn't do that, and so maybe this would be an alternative.
Yeah, so there's two sites here. One is called Ebook to Audiobook Converter. Put that in the show notes. And these are both self-hosted. Oops. A bag URL.
Okay. That requires a password.
Yeah, not that. Okay, this one is called Ebook to Audiobook.
What's Wallabag again?
It's like Pocket. You know Pocket?
No.
It's like a link bookmarker. So any web page or whatever, or podcast or anything really that you want to save, you just share it to your wallet bag. I have it hosted on the Raspberry Pi. The other one is called Ebook to Audiobook, all one word. And this one actually seems a little more fleshed out.
This has audio bookshelf integration.
Yep.
Freaking awesome.
And the one I'm looking at is the one
Where my Glenn Cook books are going.
by Drew Thomason, Ebook to Audiobook. It uses CPU or a GPU to convert ebooks to audiobooks with chapters and metadata using Calibre, FFmpeg, XTT-SV2, FairSec, and more. Supports voice cloning in 1,124 languages. It's warning. This tool is intended for use with non-DRM, legally acquired ebooks only.
Well, wait.
But they have a little Docker Compose file to run it with Docker, all encompassing. And so that's probably how I'll do it. That's what I'm going to use that little gaming computer for. Convert my ebooks into audiobooks and then put them into Storyteller. And that way I can listen or read. And actually, the Storyteller app is very nice, the Android app.
So for this one, you need Azure Text-to-Speech API credentials?
You can either use that or Piper, which is open source, I believe. EPUB to audiobook converter. And the OpenAI to generate Piper TTS there too. Which Piper is not that great, I don't think. That's why I'm kind of looking at the Drew Thomason one. Ebook to audiobook, all one word. And it has a web interface where you just upload your ebooks. You can download your audiobooks. And it uses Hugging Face, the guys that made what is that? The AI
Stable
stuff.
Diffusion?
Stable Diffusion, yeah.
All right.
So anyway, I'll probably give both a try, see how they do. Last commit on this one was 3 weeks ago. It's not too bad. Or last version released 3 weeks ago.